What a day. What a Wednesday. What's up, Wednesday? This is probably going to change to a different day of the week, but for today, it's What's Up Wednesday with what's up with the site. Let's take a look. Let's head on over to this page. I don't know if any of you check out the site additions or the site updates, the latest updates and additions. They are up here under the games menu. You can view things by recently added or recently updated. And the additions also has a grid view, which is cool if you like to see a whole lot of box art at once. I'm not going to dig into all of these, just kind of glance over them here. Is that background music too loud? Kind of loud to me. Pardon me. I was in a warehouse full of dust today. It's great for streaming. Anyways, someone pointed out recently that some more PlayStation 1 titles had disappeared from the European. I believe these were both on the European PlayStation Store. Yeah, still available in Japan and North America. So Tekken and Tekken 2 fell off. Namco is ridiculous. Okay, thank you. I don't know if it's licensing, I don't know if it's just the way that they operate with different divisions across North America and Europe, but it just Namco releases come and go everywhere all the time. Games you would think that they completely own outright, just delisted in Europe but not North America, or delisted in Australia but not Japan. I don't get it. Commandos Strike Force. That's a very old PC game. Someone submitted. They were very excited to have access to it again, not on a disc. Horrid Henry. Thought this was a porn game or something that someone had submitted, but it's actually based on a book series, right? Yeah. Million selling book series. You can get it on a disc in Europe if you can track that down, or a DS cartridge in Europe. Somebody pointed out that Magic 2014 and 2015. Oh wait, all of them now are delisted from Steam. So there's no Magic the Gathering on Steam anymore. It looks like Wizards of the Coast is trying to push everybody towards Magic the Gathering Online, which is one of the longest running digital versions of Magic, if not the longest running. So they finally pulled the plug on the rest of these. I think they were still lingering a little bit, like Xbox 360 versions. I think 2014 is still on PlayStation 3. Yeah, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Let's check right now and see if it got delisted. Nope, still available. I imagine these 2014 and 2015 will also fall off pretty soon. I've Got to Run was another. What was that? Four Corner Games. This was the pause their efforts as a developer and publisher. Right, and then they re-released a complete edition of this side-scrolling runner. Hellion. I don't remember what that was. Zero Gravity, Steam, Early Access release. Okay. Axel and Pixel is a long-running one I thought for a long time was going to be delisted 2016. Did I just not get it on the site until just recently? I don't remember how this got pushed out so far. Wow. The Digital Mistake. They, yep. Hentai Hunter. So you can imagine why they had all of their games removed from Steam. Actually, technically, I believe the wording was use of Steamworks tools. However, I don't know. Did they abuse them by uploading hentai, or did they abuse them by, I don't know, boosting trading cards? Anyways, all of their games are delisted. Were delisted in August of 2018. Temple of Yog was a Wii U eShop game that I missed from Chud Chud back when I added Wordsmith to the site. Oh, and I clicked on it. I didn't need to do that. And then just today, Skullgirls posted the PlayStation 3 original version of Skullgirls, which is, asset flipping. Yep. On Digital Mistake. Thank you. The original digital version of Skullgirls was not relisted anywhere as Encore. Oh, nope, it was. What was the deal? Because this was a funky one. Original versions delisted on 360, PlayStation 3. Right. All this back and forth between Autumn Games and Skullgirls. The Xbox 360 version was updated. The PlayStation 3 version was replaced. Okay, so the Xbox 360 was relisted, but on PlayStation 3 it was actually a whole new entry. And of course that came through because the trophy sets were different. So people noticed that had happened, and that's why they brought it to my attention. All right, so those were the recent, week or two worth of updates to the site. I think the only update that I did, or these were added to the site, the only update I did was the Sinking City, because it returned to Steam. Although in the ongoing fight between Frogwares and Nacon, apparently Nacon hacked or downloaded they pirated the Sinking City so that they could get a build that they could shove back onto Steam. So that's not cool. Their legal fight through the French legal system goes on. This table is just getting longer and longer. It's getting to be the length of a Telltale Games title. But it is back, but Frogwares themselves suggest Frogwares has not created the version of the Sinking City that is today on sale on Steam. We do not recommend the purchase of this version, or soon. And that was when they, a couple days ago, updated about Nacon supposedly pirating the game. They took the Games Planet version, which was DRM free to begin with. Oh, that's... Oh, did it get pulled down? Sorry, I don't have autocomplete on for SteamDB. Hey, awesome. Well, that needs to be updated. Sweet. They got it taken down. Good. All right, well, I need a note somewhere. Somebody make a submission to the site. You can make submissions to the site right here from the Your Support menu. All right, so that got updated. That needs updated again. And the table at the top of this page grows longer still. Thank you. I heard a sound. Thank you for the follow. Executioner. That screen is very small and it's very far away. So that's our updates and additions for the week. Let's jump over here to some news. Since this is the first time I'm doing it, I'm going to go back a little bit farther. Just kind of touch on some things. Back on February 24th, I posted that El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron is coming back. Well, it wasn't delisted on Steam, but it's coming to Steam. It was originally a PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 title, and I contacted their PR and asked if they had any update on the Xbox 360 version. The PS3 version wasn't released digitally. That's right. I'm pretty sure that's right. The Xbox 360 version is also delisted. They told me they do not have plans. They said right now we are focusing on the Steam release. Not certainly not going to do it, but maybe me asking was the first time anybody thought about it over there. Who knows? It seems to be it's a different PR group handling it for sure than when it was released through Ignition, right? Ignition Games. I saw it there somewhere. So that will be debuting on Steam, but technically not a relisting. And then on the 26th, around the 26th, Playism, I think it actually was that day because I got an email from them. I forgot I had a Playism account until they announced that they were getting rid of Playism accounts. They're actually shutting down their entire store, which I don't hear. Okay, let's go flip through that just a little bit. There we go. This link where the games are free. You can get these 11 games for free on Playism. Just add them to an account, and they are also a DRM free storefront. That Celestial Mechanica had actually been submitted to the site at one point, but I couldn't find it. Couldn't find any history of someone submitting it either. Yeah. I was able to add them to the cart and complete the order and add them to my library, but I haven't actually tried to download any of them. So it's possible maybe they don't work, but they are still on their store for free. So go grab that. There's 2 soundtracks that are free. 1 soundtrack that's free, and I think 2 videos. Oh, wait. Videos and soundtracks. Oh, they already pulled them. Okay. There were 2, like a indie games documentary that I had only vaguely heard of. It wasn't Indie Game the movie. But anyways, they are shutting down this website, their site, and there we go. You will no longer be able to purchase games, content, etc. on the Playism store. My page feature, from which you can re-download your purchases and reacquire Steam keys, is also going to be shut down on May 10th. So please be sure to properly make any necessary purchases and save any purchase content post purchase data etc. As required before the above dates. I had to log in. I had never bought anything, but I did set up an account at one point. Croiler Sigma, I think, did actually come back. Yeah, it's kind of sad to see them go. They are still going to be I don't know if they actually developed anything, but they are still going to publish games. So I really think they're losing money keeping this up, or they just can't bring in deals anymore, and it would eventually shut them down as a publisher. So they're cutting loose from the selling games thing and just going to publish games. So these are some of the things that they've had a hand in so far. I really thought there was a Momodoro game that had been delisted and someone submitted it to the site, but I couldn't find it. But there are almost 1,300 games on the site now. So Playism's shutting down. You've got March 24th to make any purchases. So if there's any indie or Japanese indie games that seem interesting, you'd like to get DRM free, probably not going to get many sales on this stuff before they're all gone, but might be a good place to grab some of this. All right, Playism. Close the sinking city. No, let me leave that up there. Let me pin that so that I don't forget to update it on the site. All right, this weird game called Togum that was created basically by one guy in Portugal or Brazil. I really can't just walk into this feature, but I did not have time to look at anything before this got started. Um, this game Togum, he started out as a, I don't know if he started there, but he's done a lot of 3D modeling for Poser, which is PC software for modeling and animation. Um, and all these characters, I mean, maybe not so much in this illustration, but in the game, they all look really unique and had this design for a 5 episode storyline, two of which are supposedly included in what was available on Steam. Didn't look like it played very well, but the cutscenes remind me of like a legitimate release from several years ago. It reminds me of like a 360 or PS3 era game. Let's see, is this still on Steam? Mentioned. That's my link to Steam. You did pull it down. Okay. So I've got to update that also. I'm going to take a look at it up here, though. Possibly. And he modeled some sign language. Interesting. And it was really peculiar to develop a 5-part game, release 2 parts of it, and 3 days later announce that you're removing it from Steam. And he's made no replies on the Steam forums that I could find. Just, he's into modeling because he's going to show off the 3D models in his trailer. And I think it was just not much response, probably not many sales, a lot of negative stuff being said, and it's probably just a disheartening thing. I like that he cast himself as the hero of the game. Not even Hideo Kojima would go that far. Yeah, and there's like a crafting system. I really wish he could get not support from people, but support of a team or something like something really just captivating about it. I don't know. It's just me. Hey, well, you would know. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not gonna try and pronounce Janaba. Janabu. Sorry, shouldn't even have tried. Thank you though. Yes, Brazil. Sorry, post-apocalyptic Brazil. Okay. All right, I need to update that also. Then Amigo announced a few days ago, last week, or actually the announcement they made on February 24th. I didn't catch it for a few days till someone pointed it out. Twin Saga, Defiance 2050, Eden Eternal, S4 League, and War to Glory are all shutting down in April, right? April 29th? Yeah. They're shoring up some of their older and probably underplayed games. In the case of War to Glory, I believe the developers said they were trying to find a way to get it off of Flash, but didn't have enough time, money, or support to do it. So it's possible some version of that might reappear. It's a bizarre, completely silent browser-based strategy multiplayer game. It actually looked kind of interesting. More interesting than I thought from reading the description as I started to look into these games. And I had to update the post because it turned out that I had only caught Eden Eternal, Twin Saga, and the 2 Defiance games, but they actually also announced S4 League and War to Glory, which were way even smaller releases than something like these 3. So those are shutting down. They have an announcement for each one. I went ahead and made I don't know, maybe I had too much time or I was feeling a little wistful about it. I made a little banner for each one of these sections. Don't normally do that on a post on the site, but I also don't usually round up 5 separate delisting announcements. But basically, the wording is close to the same for all of these. They are all new purchases or new accounts were turned off on the 24th when they announced the delistings, and they're all pretty much shutting down April 29th. Stardew Valley finally made it through CERT in Europe on PlayStation 4, but what didn't make it back to the PlayStation Store is the PlayStation Vita version. Apparently, it was originally released as a cross-play title, so you could get it on PS4 and Vita, but since it was taken down and had to go through certification again, I don't know if they're still waiting for the Vita version to come through, if somehow it had to be submitted separately, or if they are not seeking to bring the Vita version back. There were a few tweets, which I can't get to from here without showing you way too much personal information. Concerned Ape, the Twitter handle of the guy behind Stardew Valley, sorry, I forget exactly his actual name, had tweeted it was back in 2020. Nice. Well, I'm glad you caught it as cross-buy, especially if you're in a European country where you can't get it now. Now that I say that, I did not check the Brazilian PlayStation Store. He had said there was a update, one of the major updates to the console and PC version pushed a little beyond what the Vita was capable of. So the Vita version actually became more unstable with an update. And then I think they patched it a couple of times and then said back in 2020 that no more updates would be coming to the Vita version. So I'm kind of wondering if the Vita version is gone in Europe, but it is still available on the PlayStation Store in North America. So seems like it should return. I kind of hope that it returns for the sake of Vita fans and Vita owners. Here's a real meta news post. I'm on the Twitch. You're watching it. Thank you for watching it. I am on the Twitch. All right. Soul Worker is shutting down. This was originally a Korean. It's described in the American release by GameForge as an anime action MMO. I didn't look too much into the game. I just gathered up the news. It's kind of an interesting situation. GameForge, don't click on it. GameForge's version, which they handled the American and European releases, so the English language version of the game, they're shutting it down April 30th. So one day after a bunch of other MMOs shut down, another MMO is shutting down. They're shutting down this version, but the Asian language version. So the Korean version for sure. The Japanese and Taiwanese versions remain active. And Game Lion has said on Facebook that they will be making an updated version of Soul Worker, like an international release for all players, but they are still in the middle of translating it. And let's see, is this post still here? Oh, you're going to give me the big old login to Facebook banner, huh? They are working on a new version for international release for English-speaking players and Asian language players also. Unfortunately, opening date is not confirmed yet. Translation work's going on. They will share on their SNS channels, which I'm not sure what SNS. Not sure what SNS channels means. I'm not that hip, apparently. And the other thing, since it's one publisher holding all the data, going back to the developer who's now the publisher, apparently the data Where's that part? It was technically impossible to get the information required for identity verification, and also based on the GDPR regulations in Europe. Apparently, that would they couldn't get enough information to identify everyone's accounts reliably, so there will be no account migration for the. When I'm doing these, I should probably generally just keep the browser zoomed up, huh? So it plays a little better on the video. So that will be shutting down for Europe and North America, but eventually coming back. So that's kind of cool. I'm happy to see that it will return in some form. I just hope it's not 5 years down the line. And then probably the big news, big delisting news of the week. Nintendo does what Nintendo does, I think is how I worded this the last time I wrote one of these posts. You remember all these games that they released in this big Mario 35th anniversary celebration? Well, they're all going away. But they announced that they were going away when they announced that they were out, so joke's on us, I guess. Obviously, Super Mario Bros. 35 being an online-only multiplayer thing. Social network service. Thank you very much. I assumed it meant something like follow us on socials, but I couldn't suss out the acronym there. Thank you. Super Mario Bros. 35 will obviously be shutting down. It will be gone for good. Since it's a multiplayer online only thing. Of course, they could always bring it back, spin it up again, but I don't think it's been the most successful, like not as popular as Tetris 99 was for them. Super Mario 3D All-Stars will also be removed from the eShop. Why don't I just scroll down to where the information is? And I zoomed in a little bit. This one you could buy physically. I did buy physically. So I have a retail version of it. I just couldn't resist it. They won. And the digital edition will be available through March 31st, 2021. I'm just kind of calling out the wording that Nintendo has given because, or was it? Mario 35 will be available through, so you should be able to play on the 31st. But Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light is actually leaving on the 31st at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. So it's a little weirdly specific on that one. This one has the ironic distinction that they made that elaborate physical release for it, and it comes with everything except an actual cartridge to put in your Switch. And it also has a transparent NES cartridge, which seems pretty ironic. Oh, it looks like the Nintendo game, and it doesn't have anything inside of it. Just like this Switch release. So if you had any interest in the original, the very first, now translated version of Fire Emblem, might want to get that. I'm sure it's going to come back. They'll release it somewhere. I'm sure it will make a return. And, 6 months from now, they'll add it to the Nintendo Switch Online service for NES games. Let me catch up on chat. Yeah, back to Togum. It's sad. It's sad to see. I can only imagine it was another moment where I stopped and thought, like, what must it be like to pour your heart into something for who knows how many years and put it out there and have no one buy it except to dump on it. I can't handle that kind of criticism that well. Somebody comments that I just missed a date or I missed a platform that a game came out on, and I feel terrible. Can't imagine like trying to create a world and art and story and just having it not go over. Yeah, the I saw the website didn't exist anymore. I didn't find the Facebook pages. Yeah, so hopefully he's okay. He's just gonna gotta lay low and let it subside maybe and come back with something else. I don't know. Um, Elsewhere in Nintendo Land, not Nintendo Land, close to it. Talking about the Wii U, Super Mario Maker for the Wii U loses the ability to basically play the game as it was designed on March 31st. It will no longer be possible to upload courses in the game. And the Super Mario Maker, I thought I misspelled that for a second. Super Mario Maker bookmark website will also close. So you can still, oh gosh, now I can't remember the details. You can still play games, you just can't upload new ones, right? The ability to upload following features, courses will become available, updating the ranking of liked courses, looking up your bookmarked courses. We're just going to have an error message pop up. It will still be possible to play courses that were uploaded before the course upload feature was discontinued and to re-download the game after it's removed from the eShop. Will not impact Super Mario Maker 2. We would like to thank all players for we'd like to thank all players for making our game for the last 5 years. Now get out. Please buy the new version. It's really sad. Like it's up there with once the majority of Little Big Planet is shut down. Gosh, he even deleted his LinkedIn profile. Yeah, I hope he's all right. Sorry, I keep going back to that. I keep catching up with chat. Thank you for finding that, for sharing that. All right, and then one last addition: the Game and Watch Super Mario Brothers is not available digitally, but it was kind of lumped in with the 35th anniversary stuff, and is also no longer being sold after the 31st. Well, it will still be sold. They're no longer shipping it to stores. And it's a dumb thing, but I'm dumb and I can't help but want it. What am I going to do with a little clock that has Yoshi's jumping around on it? I don't need that. I kind of want it. Look, I can keep it in my shirt pocket, have it get crushed. Oh, so that was a big roundup of Nintendo stuff that I had to pull together the other day in kind of a rush. I wanted to get that up as soon as possible, but a bunch of other sites do it with almost the exact same headline. I saw another headline go by and thought it was my own. Wait a second, I didn't write. Oh, I didn't write that one. So that is news, the additions to the site. 7:49. We still have some time. I'll maybe I should let the chat catch up a little bit. Any comments or questions about any of this stuff? Kick this music up for a few if you guys need some time to type or think of something. That's how Twitch is supposed to work, right? We're interacting. Go back to this screen for a minute. Man, he really disappeared. Now you really got me worried about him. Okay, well, the other thing I was thinking about looking at. Oh, yes. Go ahead, Janabu. Jay. Go ahead, Jay. And Canty, thank you for the follow. Oh, let me go back to playism. Were you able to get in or anything? Where's playism? JBA. I have a link on my post that will take you to the free section. And all I did was hit add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. And of course, it's going to ask me to log in on this browser because I'm not signed in. But I was able to hit checkout, yep, and sign in, and then it added them to the library. Okay. Yeah, so you should be able to claim them, and then definitely make sure you download them before the store disappears. There was a site, it just came to mind. It was a site sort of like Bandcamp back when people thought that they could make a competition for Bandcamp. And it shut down. I bought a lot of video game music bundles through it, and I had to go in before they shut it down and download zips of everything I had bought. So anyways, I was also thinking, since this is something I do every week and I haven't gotten to do yet, take a look at the latest releases on the PlayStation Store on the old PlayStation Store website. Because I come in here and see stuff like Neoverse. What is that? Car Demolition Clicker. What is that? Ascend Shaft and Endless Shaft. Oh. Huh. Looks like it's got some real effort put into it. Cards? Combos? Time warping multiverse game. Thrilling adventures. Oh man, they put it all into one. Roguelite deck building strategy gameplay. Korean and English. No, it wasn't groupies. It was a music focused one. I guess I can open this and it's not going to pop up on the stream. Louder. Extinction Agenda, soundtrack from Fez, FTL, some video game adjacent electronic music too. Actually, it looks like that's where I got the Super Meat Boy soundtrack from. So yeah, Louder was the one. I'll bet this, yeah, came from PC, from Steam. Tell I do a lot of research because I don't just go to Steam. I only go to Steam through SteamDB. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a year old on Steam. So they just now got it pushed through cert on PS4. Not bad. Car Demolition Clicker. Oh, okay, gotcha. It's a mobile game that they ported. You watch a car get blown apart. I think I've seen a video of it. Or I've seen an ad on my phone that was a tiny video for this. Gotcha. Ascend Shaft. Whoa. What am I looking at? 2 games in 1. Reminds me of like a Android version only. I love when mobile specific wording makes it onto the PlayStation Store. Android version only. Okay, so that came from mobile. Neoverse still open. Cave Bad. Fine, I'll look at Cave Bad. And Gravifier. Sir Love-A-Lot. Neptunia Virtual Stars. Whoever's making these Candy Break games, just cranking one out. Every time there's a holiday or a season change, there's a new Candy Break game. It is just Bust a Move, I think. Cave Bad. Okay, Bomberman. Not bad looking. I like that ghost. Hey, thank you. Thank you for following on Twitter and coming back on Twitch. I hope things get a little more consistent. Just kind of depends on what happens every day at work most of the time. Ravifier. Hey, thank you, Nizak, for the follow. This looks like a puzzle platformer in which you avoid lasers or maybe push boxes. Is this just shove it? Sometimes you. That's familiar from some other recent release. Potato Company. This one I almost bought until I watched the video and saw it's basically just Super Meat Boy. It's just are we still calling that a Masocore platformer? The art style really reminds me of old PC titles, like having the whole level on the screen at once. But then seeing it in motion, I was like, oh, okay, it's a lot like a Meat Boy. Blades and saw blades and spikes and dying over and over again. Hey, thanks. You too. Probably with the lag, you missed that, but thanks anyways. Hey, Neptunia is back with another release. I still do not know what the Neptunia series is. This one looks like a music game, but also some kind of combat RPG. Been very close to buying one of them once. Very close to buying them a couple of times. Hey, it's that girl. The only reason I really know about Neptunia is because they did a crossover in Spelunker World back before that game shut down, and you could get this hair and the little D-pads, I guess. She's supposed to be a video game character. Oh no, what is Console Wars though? You're talking to an old here. Oh, Candy Break. Oh, it's Breakout or Arkanoid. Got it. Their screenshot has one of the trophies in it. I don't think I've ever seen that PlayStation Store listing. More Harvest Moon is happening. Memory Lane. What is this, Space Cat? Ah, it's a bunch of themes. Gotcha. Are you allowed to bundle themes and avatars? One full game. Memory Lane. Oh, it's DLC? Huh. What a thing. Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Would you say that Hyperdimension Neptunia 7 is worthwhile? I don't know why that's the one that keeps always coming back to mind. Like anytime I think of it, it's always 7. I don't know if that's a good one. I don't want to say I don't know if any of them are good. I'm sure they're fine and people like them. They added a goth girl to Harvest Moon. I believe this is the one that. No, it was not Harvest Moon. Never mind. It's Story of Seasons. That's happening. You can have a tiger hang out with a lamb and a cow. Why not? Newer ones are better, and the older ones are grindy. There's got to be a sweet spot in there somewhere. There's like 40 of them. Let's see. I got back. I was going to look at Baobab's Mausoleum Grindhouse Edition on Lin Path of Orchards because this reminds me of Ib and Ob. Wondered if it had any connection with that old PS3 game. Did I set up a search shortcut? I did. Ibanob. It's by Sparpweed. They only made Ibanob. I don't know if this is them. Maybe it's one of these two. It looks nice. Not my kind of thing, but it looks nice. Balabob's Mausoleum Grindhouse Edition, Country of Woods and Creepy Tales. Whoa. Whoa, this has something going on. This first person, is this a cigarette? Okay, fine. I'll watch the video. Okay, so this must have come over from Steam, right? It's got 2019 awards on it. Whoa. I don't know if that runs all that great over the stream or not. Whoa, now we're talking. Except I keep thinking that cigarette is a pool cue. Oh, you're talking Dynasty Warriors. You're talking my thing. At one point, anyways. I've touched all of them, but I haven't sunk into one of them since Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires. That was like my sweet spot of Dynasty Warriors. Ubisoft bundled up 2 of their games. There's a bunch of editions of Like a Dragon that somehow just came out. Is this the PS5 version? No, it wouldn't have PS4 on it if it was a PS5. I think they just rebundled it. Includes a bunch of sets. More arcade archives are happening. Pretty sure I played that one in an arcade. Briefly. Probably like 50 cents I put into it because I wanted to ride around in a tank. They got to bundle it up with Assassin's Creed. $109 though. It's not a... Phoenix? I mean, Immortals? Did it have them broken out? This bundle is DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Oh, but it's got some stuff, right? 2 acclaimed titles. No? Okay. Just get the games. I thought maybe they would have thrown in some paid junk. All right. I think I'm about caught up. Dungeons and Bombs. I got a pretty good guess as to what that's like. Katana Kata. Is there no video? Did somebody make a fake Ghost of Tsushima? Huh. It's a Souls-like game where not only your timing matters, but also direction of strikes. So that could be like Bushido Blade. Oh, beautiful. Amazon still has it listed as Gods and Monsters. Well, that was a better name anyways. I applaud them. Oh, yes, yes. I remember looking at this. Is this pithy king over here constantly in your game reminded me of King of all Cosmos from Katamari. You get filters. They look nice. I'm still a sucker for pixel art stuff. All right, well, we caught up on the PlayStation Store. I do not have time to go look at the Xbox Store also, but I've been trying to keep up with that too. I'm going to flip back over to this scene. And I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream. Thank you all for watching along and chatting. And though I've got to get this chat text a little bit bigger on my second screen, I really can't read it without deliberately leaning over. Thanks, you too. Thanks, everybody, for watching and following on Twitter or Facebook or just checking out the site. Let's see. Fade out somehow. Thanks.